What's going on, you guys? How you all are doing? I'm back again with another COD mobile video, and today's video is really gonna be a headache. But before that, if you haven't watched these two videos, then I will highly recommend you watching those because it will help you creating a better understanding of Gunsmith. So let's talk about what is Gunsmith. In my opinion, Gunsmith is one of the best things to happen in COD mobile, mainly because of three reasons. First, no more pay to win guns. Well, if you remember when HBRE3 was added into the game, it was one of the COD guns. But unfortunately, it was only available in the form of a paid skin called as Dragon Dance. But now in Gunsmith, each and every weapon is free to play. The next reason is unbiased weapon perks. This was one of the most fucked up thing in COD Mobile before Gunsmith. All the special abilities of weapons were decided on the rarity of its skin. For example, some of the blue assault rifles used to give extra sprinting speed after spawning, and some of the epic assault rifles used to give extra range boost. This means same weapon with different skins had different abilities. But now we have all those special abilities in the form of weapon perks. This means epics and legendary blueprints are pure cosmetics and they can't manipulate the performance of weapon. And the last reason is total control over weapon. You can literally modify every part of your weapon, so you can construct and destruct it according to your needs. There was a time when only 3 attachment slots existed, excluding the optical slot. So quick draw, full whip and extended mag were some standard attachments, but now you get more than 50 plus attachments on an average for each weapon. So you can literally make it overpowered or make it worse. It totally depends on your choice. But now that we have more than 50 attachments but only 5 attachment slots, so we have to pick 5 attachments very carefully. Well, now before customizing anything in Gunsmith, you should know 2 of the most important things: alternatives and builds. You might have heard people saying that LK is better alternative for ICR, or this is the SMG build of this AR and things like that. So what are alternatives and what are builds? Alternative is simply another weapon which has similar properties of base weapon but has something more beneficial. For example, let's say ICR is an alternative for RPD because RPD has non-existent recoil and ICR also has non-existent recoil, but ICR has better handling than RPD. Another example will be LK is better alternative for ICR. So alternative simply means you don't have to mess up with weapon, instead you can use other weapon with similar properties. And now builds. Builds are simply modified weapons from a particular class which functions like a weapon from another class. For example, boosting up the ADS and mobility of an assault rifle simply creates the SMG build of that particular assault rifle. Also, boosting up range and accuracy creates AR builds of SMGs. You might have heard people saying this is the AR build of GKS or this is the SMG build of AK-117, so that are called as builds. Now you might ask me why I am talking about alternatives and builds. The reason is first step of Gunsmith, and that is weapon selection. Before actually customizing the weapon, you should select the proper weapon because not every weapon is capable of creating build. Sometimes instead of making things complicated, you should simply switch to alternative instead of build. Let's say you want to create SMG build of an AR which has a good range but terrible bullet spread and high recoil. Yes, I'm talking about heavy hitters like TRH and AK-47. Firstly, you have to stabilize the recoil and reduce the bullet spread. So congrats, you have successfully wasted 2 attachment slots. And also using stabilizing attachments ultimately affects mobility. So again you have to use a strong ADS boosting attachment. This means you have wasted 3 attachment slots already. And now you can only use 2 attachments of your choice. Great, this is the reason you should know which weapon can be modified and which not. Some weapon can be used as what it is, like AK-47 is a good assault rifle, but it can be effectively used like an assault rifle only, not like SMG. Alright, now you know which weapons can be used as builds, but how you can actually create a build. There are various builds which includes AR builds, SMG builds, LMG builds, but mostly AR and SMG builds are used. Let's talk about AR builds of SMGs. Firstly, you should select SMG which has low recoil, good range as base SMG. Creating AR builds of Fennec and MSMC is not worth. They are good as SMGs only. If you want to use SMG like AR, then you should always go for SMGs like RUS, GKS or HG40. For that you can use integral suppressor barrels. I won't suggest using marksman barrels because it is overkill and has severe downsides. Also using strike stock or steady stock is very important because of two reasons. It will stabilize the weapon and also it will reduce flinch. SMG has more flinch than AR. Next you can use OWC laser tactical for compensating the ADS speed. This will make your SMG work like AR. And now let's talk about SMG build of AR. This mainly excludes the heavy hitters because of low rate of fire and terrible bullet spread. You can try building ARs like AK-117, KN-44 or LK-24. Firstly, I would suggest using short barrels because it gives ADS and mobility boost. Also, no stock is very necessary. Don't worry about flinch because ARs have less flinch than SMG. OWC laser tact is universal attachment, and you can also use granulated grip tapes if you want tighter bullet spread. So this was it all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then drop a like and subscribe the channel if you're new here for daily COD mobile uploads. This being said, let's wrap up this video. Hope you all are doing well. Stay tuned. Much love. See you guys later.